Okay, so this is the second part of the video. Moodle or the iPhone wouldn't let me turn the camera around on video mode. So here's a quick brief rundown of our Moodle course. You'll see at the top announcements. Those will come to you via email. You'll see the syllabus, which we'll go over in a minute. You'll see the journal guidelines, written assignment guidelines. Those will come in handy as well, along with the Purdue Online Writing Lab. We'll cover all that. We do have a final paper in this class, how to format APA paper, and the paper guidelines are both available for you. I do not cover those in this video, mainly because those are due at the very end of the semester, and we'll go over those at a later date. You'll see how Moodle's set up, very similar to the syllabus if you've seen that. Over here is the day, right? So everything's a week, Monday to Monday, January 20th to 27th. You'll see chapter 1. And then your assignments are over here on the right, read, quiz, journal, due Monday the 27th. If you go down to the following week, you'll see that as well. Right, if you scroll down, you'll see all the PowerPoints are available, and then you'll see the assignments, right? Quizzes are always 5 multiple choice questions. You have 7.5 minutes to complete those. Journals we'll get to. If you click on the journal, that will bring up the question here, briefly explain each of the 3 perspectives of human nature. It also has the journal guidelines here as well for you to view, but we'll go over those in a second. On forums, they are Q&A forums, which means you have to respond to the question that I presented in order to see your classmates' responses. You do not have to respond to any classmates. However, I encourage it if you have something productive to add to the conversation. And then you'll see exams down here, 40 questions, 50 minutes to complete them, due Monday at noon. And that's kind of how the units are set up. So we'll go up here and we'll look at the journal guidelines. If you've had me before, they've changed just a little bit. Journals need to range from 250 to 500 words. But please ensure your journal response answers the question in detail. Do not just get to 250 and shut it off if you haven't answered the question. Okay, sometimes I ask your opinions on the perspectives of human nature and why. Right? Don't forget that why part. Your journals do require one source. It can be the book, so you can use the book at all times, right? But they do require a source. Even if I've asked an opinion-based question, what is your opinion on this? It needs to be based or rooted in factual data. So I still want a source, okay? You should always have an in-text citation when it comes to a source. Not a reference. I do not need a reference at the bottom. I need an in-text citation. Very, very simple stuff. Purdue OWL's there to help you. I'm there to help you if you've never done it before or you need help. But please know you will miss points. It's an automatic 0 if you don't have one. And if you struggle with it, you'll miss points early until you can correct it, which I will give you feedback on. But please know that is a requirement. Okay. Now, if we go back and let's see, go to written assignment guidelines. These are a little bit different, a little bit longer. Okay, 650 to 1,000 words. All right, so about double. In bold, that's important. It needs to be Times New Roman. It needs to be 12-point font. It needs to be double-spaced. Do not overlook those details. A lot of students overlook them, and a lot of students get points off. They're on there for a reason, okay? With written assignment guidelines, you need 2 sources. One can be the book. That's an acceptable source. However, you also need an additional source that requires you to go outside of the book. All right, both of those need to be cited in your text, okay? You only need in-text citations. You do not need references. You don't need a title page or an abstract when it comes to written assignments, okay? So you don't have to do all that. Open up a document, start typing. Please know that I consider these research, which means I statements are not acceptable. Don't give me your opinion. Don't give me your personal experience. Don't give me any of that. A family experience, these are research, and they should be rooted in such. So I statements are not acceptable. Right? So journals 250 to 500 words with one source. Written assignments 650 to 1,000 words. Times New Roman, 12-point font, double-spaced with 2 sources. Do not turn in something without any in-text citations. It will be a 0. Okay, going back here. Going up to the syllabus, and we'll review this real quick. You'll see on here my office hours, Thursdays, right? A little bit in the morning and a little bit in the afternoon, but I am available by appointment. So please do not hesitate to contact me via email. I'll let you read the course description, purpose of the course, and so on. Evaluation and grading, they're in yellow. Hopefully you guys can see this. No students will be considered for a bump in their grade if they did not complete all available extra credit opportunities. No exceptions. I've changed this a little bit too. It used to be you had to complete every assignment and extra credit. Now it's just extra credit. At the end of the semester, what I do is I go through and I look if you're close. So if you have a 79.4, you're very close to a B, I will go in and I will bump you if you've done the extra credit. If you have not done the extra credit, I will not bump you. So please know there's extra credit on the final paper, and there will be an extra credit opportunity, at least one throughout the semester. I do not know what those will be just yet, but that will be relayed to you when they come about. All right? Each assignment will be due Monday at noon except for the final exam. So always know Monday at noon there's assignments due. You will have quizzes. You'll have 12 quizzes. Okay. Sometimes they cover 2 chapters. Most of them cover 1. They're worth 5 points each for a total of 60 points. You will have journals. There's 6 journals. Right. They're worth 10 points for 60 points. And you'll see in yellow there, journals require in-text citations, and then it refers you to the journal guidelines. You'll have 3 forums, each worth 5 points. They're a little less. There's no word count. Nothing, no requirements when it comes to forms. There's 3 of them worth 5 points. You will notice that they do not require a source. However, anytime you use a source, it still needs a citation. Just because it does not require them does not mean you won't use one. And when you do, it still needs to be cited accordingly. Written work. There's only 2 written assignments. They're 15 points. And those are those written assignment guidelines that I talked about. And then finally, the final paper. It's 50 points. There's information on there, and I'll have a video later in the semester, hopefully a better video than this, discussing it. It's an idea that's left up to you. If we're talking about psychopaths, or we're talking about domestic terrorists, or lone wolf, whatever we discuss throughout the semester, if that piques your interest, I encourage you to use that as your final paper topic. Ideally, you do research and you write a paper on something that is worthwhile to you and not something I've given you. So we will discuss that a little bit later. Exams, we have 4 of them. 3 of them, Unit 1, 2, and 3, will be 40 points each. And the final exam is 75 points. It is cumulative, but about 85 to 90% of it will come from Unit 4, and just probably 10 to 15 questions from Unit 1, 2, and 3. So it's cumulative by nature, or by definition, but not really in nature. Okay, most of your exams will be multiple choice. Sometimes I throw in true, false, matching, and essay, but most of them are just going to be multiple choice. You'll see down here the grade breakdown of everything, 410 total points. You can calculate what you need to get an A, B, C, whatever you desire. Please know that some of that's subject to change. The extra credit throws some of that off, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty set in stone, but it will fluctuate a little bit. Okay. Makeups and late assignments. This is a good one to focus on. Do not email me assignments. They're due on Moodle on Monday at noon. If they're not in at that date and time, I will not grade them. All right. I deal with this every semester, and I don't know the best way to deal with it, but this to me has been the best way. I open up the assignments. I open up all the class so you can see exactly what's due and when it's due ahead of time. If you choose to wait and turn your assignment in Monday morning at 11:59, that's wonderful. It doesn't matter to me. It's in there. It'll be graded just the same as if you turned it in a week early. Okay. But I will tell you, and I know some of you will disregard this, in my 5 years of teaching, students who wait until Monday morning to do assignments inevitably have things that come up. All right. You get sick, your son or daughter gets sick, your car breaks down, your computer shuts off, whatever, work calls you in. There's a lot of different things that can happen. None of those are reasonable excuses. Okay, if you've waited that long, that's a time management deal, and you've trusted yourself to get it done, and it needs to get done. But please do not expect me to give you extra time at that point. Now, there are certain exceptions, right? Family death, personal issues. I'm a human. I completely understand those. What I will say is this. Let me know ahead of time, okay? If you know you're going through some tough times, if you know you're struggling personally, family life, please just shoot me an email. You don't have to be detailed, okay? Shoot me an email a couple days in advance, a Friday or Saturday, and say, Mr. Hunter, I'm going through some things. Is there any way you can work with me? And I'll be more than happy to, okay? But don't shoot me that email Monday morning at 11:50 and say you're going through some things, because that's not good enough for me. All right. Give me some time to evaluate it and look at it. All right. And I'll work with you. But please know that for the most part, assignments need to be in there Monday at noon. Academic dishonesty, you can read through that. Honor code. Academic services is big. If you struggle with timed exams, which all of ours are, please contact the Office of Disability Services. They can help set you up to get 1.5 times or 2 times the time slot for exams. So instead of 7.5 minutes, you might get 15 minutes. All right. I cannot do that, but they can reach out to me after you've contacted them and we can set that up. So please take advantage of that or utilize that if you need it. Okay. Final note, be courteous to your fellow students and myself. All right. Sometimes in forums, sometimes in discussions, people have disagreeing opinions. As you read through this book, there's some heavy stuff in here. There's some very interesting stuff. Please know that everybody has a right to their opinion. You may disagree with it, not a problem. I encourage disagreement. Okay, I encourage not everybody to be the same exact plane of thought, but please be respectful in your responses. And then finally, questions and concerns. I always encourage you to come to me. I'm very open, a very easygoing individual. So if there's issues you're having, please let me know. If you don't like my response, Dr. Bradley, he's the new chair of our department. His contact information is down there at the bottom, and you can contact him. Okay. Again, I apologize for the crappiness of the videos, but sometimes I wanted to make sure I get this out to you guys and give you an opportunity to view this. I will be in contact throughout the semester with feedback and emails and videos. So please let me know if you need anything, and I look forward to this class together.